Irashaimase. I'm living in Tokyo for over 2 years now, and I eat sushi every week. And I think I can give you good recommendation on what to try when you visit here. And I want to give those recommendations in the form of a tier list. I love tier lists. So I'm going to rate all of the most common sushi you find at a restaurant here on this tier list to give you an idea of what kind of sushi I like. And this also will serve as my recommendation for you. And this is my personal tier list, so it is completely factual and correct. And if you think you can make a better one, please feel free to go ahead. So to start things off, we're going to start with what I believe to be the benchmark, which is salmon. So I think salmon, everyone probably knows what this is. You can get this in America. I think this tastes great in America. It tastes great in Japan too, but I think it's just a very basic, normal sushi that maybe everyone kind of likes, but it's not amazing or anything, but it's certainly good. So we're gonna put that in C tier. Next we got tamago or egg. So honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of omelets, and likewise omelet sushi. This one, I think it's too heavy, especially if you go to kind of the cheaper restaurant. I feel like it's just there to fill you up. If you go to the higher end restaurant, it's almost like a cake-like consistency, maybe like a dessert. I like that, but generally I do not like this one. So I'm going to put it in E tier. Maybe for you omelet lovers, it's a little bit higher, but for me, it's an E. Next, we have Akami. This one, it's usually tuna marinated in soy sauce. It's actually pretty good. It's pretty consistently good. I've really liked this one whenever I've had it. Definitely not S or A tier good, but a step above salmon for me. So B tier. Taco, octopus. This one, it's not bad. You should try it, but I think for me it's the texture. The texture is like hard. It's chewy. I don't really like it. I almost never order this one. For me, it's an E, right there with the omelet. Okay, next we got Ika Squid. This one, similar to octopus, I don't think the taste is very strong, but it kind of has a weird texture. The best I can describe it is kind of like a snappy wax. But this time, I actually really like the texture. So this one, I'm going to put B tier. Next, we got Saba, marinated mackerel. So this one is mackerel marinated in vinegar. So if you like the vinegar taste, you're going to like this one. And I do, in fact, like vinegary stuff. And I really do like Saba as well. I actually have been to a restaurant that only serves this, which is where I took this photo. The issue with this one is the consistency. I think sometimes it can be maybe a bit vinegary, and other times it can be like a bit too like fishy tasting. So I really like this one. I want to put in B tier, but because of the issue I have with consistency, I'm going to put this one in the C tier. Hotate. This is raw scallop sushi. So I didn't even know you could eat scallops raw until I came to Japan. So how do I feel about them? Well, I really like seared scallops, but eating them raw, I'm still not really sure about. I think if you go to like the nicer restaurant, this one tastes great, but at the kind of normal restaurant, I'm still a bit scared to eat it, and it's so big. Like, you can see how big these scallops are in this photo. It just fills your mouth. It's hard to chew. It's so heavy. It fills you up. You can barely even taste the rice. So I'm not really a fan of this one. I almost never order it. But still better than tamago. So D tier. Next, let's do Thai. This is sea beam. I think this is one of the most underrated sushi. It has a very pleasant, like, chewing texture. The taste isn't too strong. I find this one is almost always good. I almost always order it. I definitely recommend, if you haven't tried this one, to definitely try it next time. So I'm going to put this one B tier. Okay, corn sushi. I don't even know why this one exists. F tier. Ebi. This is one probably most people have tried. It's just boiled shrimp. I think you get this in America. I think this one, I like this one. I almost always order it. It doesn't taste amazing. It doesn't taste bad. I think it's a very nostalgic taste, but it's not amazing or anything. Put this in C tier. Next we got Aburi Angawa Shio Toramen. This one is a flounder that's seared with salt and lemon. You have to get that exact combination. Seared, salt, with lemon. This one is freaking delicious. Even if you go to the cheapest sushi place you can find and you order this, it's still going to taste amazing. I almost always order this one if you can find it on the menu. I highly recommend it. I think everyone can enjoy this one. For me, this is S tier, without a doubt. Maguro Tuna. Tuna is the king of sushi, and Maguro is delicious. But I feel like the issue with tuna is the quality, like the freshness, the temperature. Like sometimes it's too cold. I think it really affects the taste. Sometimes Maguro, just plain Maguro, it blows my mind, and other times it's kind of like eh. But I still think it's definitely one of the best sushi. My only issue with it is like the quality can alter the taste a lot, but still I almost always order this one. I'm gonna put this one A tier. Definitely try tuna. Hamachi or buri. So this one you probably know as yellowtail, but it has two names. Hamachi is the farmed raised version of this fish that you can enjoy it year round, and buri is like the wild caught one. This one has a rich fishy flavor, but honestly, it's not amazing or anything. To be honest, I usually forget about this one. It can be pretty good at some of the higher end restaurants, but at like Kaiten Sushi, I forget it exists. But this one, I think it's a solid C tier. Kampachi, this is amberjack, very similar to hamachi or buri, but this one, honestly, I think I have this one more as sashimi. I prefer this one to be sashimi. It has a very light flavor, but not enough for me, especially with the rice. So, if it's sashimi, I'd probably put this like B or A tier, but the sushi version, maybe C or D. I'll put this one in D. Okay, so kappamaki. This one probably you tried before in America. Just a cucumber and rolled in rice. This is the bad one. All right, I don't like these cucumber logs. You just bite it and it's like I don't like the texture on this one. It's not great. It's a very basic sushi too. Not much flavor. But this one probably E tier. This, on the other hand, is the correct way to make a cucumber roll. You gotta like chop the cucumber up really finely, and then when you chew it, like the texture is just amazing. This one I love it. I recommend it. This is one of my favorites. This one, A tier. Next, let's do aji. This is horse mackerel. Usually you get like the green onion and a bit of ginger on top. This one, it's a cheaper cut of fish, but honestly, I love this one. It almost always tastes good to me. Even at like the cheaper sushi restaurants, I love this one. I've also had it at, a high-end omakase course, and I still loved having it there. This is one of my favorites. I almost always order it. Because of how consistently good this one is, I'm gonna put this A tier. That's probably pretty controversial to Japanese people, but that's where it is for me. Let's see. Next, we have Basushi. This one is raw horse sushi. Definitely, that's a S tier for me. Natto. Japanese people love natto. I do not. Try this one at your own caution. F tier. At least unlike corn sushi, I understand why natto exists. Oysters. So actually, you can get oysters at sushi restaurants, and usually there's some bomb oysters. If you like oysters, definitely look for them. I do like oysters. B tier. Otoro, fatty tuna. So this is the most prized part of the tuna fish. This is one of the most expensive sushi, and honestly, I think it's a bit overrated. A lot of times when I order this, sometimes it's like too fatty and it just dissolves in my mouth, or you get at like the cheaper kaiten sushi place and like they have it on ice, so when they serve it to you, it's still like it's still frozen. But it's definitely has the potential to be one of the best sushi you can eat, especially if it's served at the right temperature. The tuna flavor is balanced with the fatty flavor, and I think it's the high price tag is well warranted, and I do think it's one of the best sushi. So definitely Otoro S tier. So Kurama Ebi. This is tiger prawn. This I think this is the best shrimp sushi. It's got that big meaty shrimp taste, and a lot of times when you order this one, especially at like the higher end restaurant, the chef kind of messes with you. They kind of show you the shrimp live, and then unfortunately they kill it in front of you to kind of shock you. They really like to mess with the foreigners with this one. But if you get boiled, they'll take it back and boil it, so you don't have to see that. But I like shrimp, and I think this is the best shrimp sushi. Can it play ball with Otoro and Aburi Engawa Shioto Lemon? No. This one, A tier. Kazunoko. This is herring roe. This one, honestly, I don't really understand it. It's roe, but it's hard. A lot of times when I get this, I feel like it's kind of dried out and then it absorbs so much soy sauce. I really don't like this one, and I really don't ever eat it unless it comes in the sushi set, and then, well, I don't want to waste the food. This one, E tier. Onion and quail egg. This one I saw at a restaurant. It looked really cool, really Instagrammable, but it wasn't that great. It's still better than Tamako though. D tier. Aka Ebi. It's a big old sweet shrimp. Usually they serve it with the head, like in this photo, or the head's still attached. And if the head's there, you don't have to eat it. You can just kind of rip the head off. It's a sweeter fish, or I guess shrimp. This one, I used to really like it, but the more I ate it, the more I started to notice like this waxy flavor. And now I feel like if I don't get like a really fresh one, I just taste this really unpleasant waxiness. But it's still pretty good. For that reason, I put C tier, and this is one of my friend's favorite sushi, and I think he's gonna kill me for putting it here. Ikara, this is salmon roll. Maybe you've tried this one before. I think it's kind of common. This one, if you like popping zits of ocean water in your mouth, you'll like this one. I think a lot of people, though, they don't like that popping in your mouth, but I do like popping zits. But still, it's not that great. C tier. Torotaku. This is pickled radish with Toro tuna. This one I think is the dark horse of sushi. This is one of my favorite sushis. I feel like at the end of your meal, this is the perfect one to end with. You got that fattiness that fills you, and that pickled flavor that kind of cleanses your palate. I almost always order this one. I highly recommend it. Definitely one of my favorites, and I think it does play ball with the big boys up here. Ama Ebi. This one, it's like Aka Ebi, but smaller. The texture is a bit different, but I think the taste is pretty similar. Honestly, I don't like this one as much as Aka Ebi, so it's D tier for me. Chu Toro. This is the medium fatty tuna. So fattier than Maguro, but not as fat as Otoro. This one, I actually really like it. I find that the flavor is a lot more consistent, and personally, I like the more tuna-y taste as opposed to like the overly fatty taste. So I love Chu Toro. It's probably kind of controversial, but I think this is S tier for me. I think if you talk to a Japanese person, they're going to say like Otoro S tier, Chu Toro A tier. and then plain tuna B tier, but I don't roll like that. I think I love Chu Toro just as much as I love Otoro. Unagi. This is a grilled eel. Usually they put a sauce on it. I don't often eat this one because I have an allergy to the sauce, but the few times I have been able to eat it, it's been delicious. And it's grilled, so you're not eating raw fish. If you don't want to eat raw fish, it's the option for you. And I think it's really solid. It's B tier for me. Negi Toro. This one, it's fatty tuna with green onion in it. And honestly, I probably eat this one more than the other sushi. I usually get this one at the supermarket. You can just get like a pack of 6 or pretty cheap and pop them in like potato chips. I like to get at the restaurant too, where obviously it's going to taste better than the supermarket. So can it play ball with Chu Toro, Otoro, Torotaku? I don't think so, but still definitely one of the best. This is A tier. Maguro Yama Gunkan Sushi. This is the Tuna Mountain Battleship Sushi. Definitely S tier. If you see this one, you have to order it. And last but not least, we got Uni Sea Urchin. This one, definitely one of my favorites. Definitely top 3 sushi in my opinion. But the issue with uni is you get the cheap one and it tastes like ocean snot. And I think when most people try uni, they get the ocean snot uni. Disgusting. However, if you get a good uni, perhaps at a fancy restaurant, then it is the sweet nectar of the ocean. One of the most delicious things I think you can ever taste. So, that said, is it S tier? I don't think so. I've eaten so many bad unis. I'm pretty jaded towards uni. I only order it if it's at a high-end restaurant or if I can see it like in their little refrigerator thing and it looks good. So because of the issue of consistency, ocean snot uni definitely like E or F, but good uni is S tier for me. But I'm gonna average that with some change and put it in B tier. So this is our final tier list. So how do we do? I like it. Obviously, it's a bit top heavy. We got a lot of S and A and B, but what can I say? I love sushi. I think I like more sushis than I dislike. I think the only things I'd reconsider at this moment, I might move Aji down to B. I might move Ika down to C. But everything else I'm pretty happy with. So there you go, that's my tier list. I hope if you're a newcomer to sushi, this video gave you info on what all of these are, maybe what you'd like to try. If you're a veteran to sushi, maybe there's something on this list you overlooked and you want to try it now. Or maybe you're a tamago lover and think I'm an idiot for putting in the E. Or maybe you think I'm an idiot for putting Otoro and Chu Toro in the same S tier, but that's where I think they belong. If you disagree, come at me with your own tier list. I'd be curious to see what you think, where you'd rate all these sushi. So please make it, send it to me. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you'd like to do in future videos. So that's it. Thank you. Bye-bye.